Hi, I'm Dave Taylor from Dave Taylor Miniatures. Welcome to, I think this is part 4 of the Warlord Titan build. Finally, after all this time, we're going to get some glue on some models, or some parts of the model, and get these feet and legs started. So, I talked about the base last time, and I've sent this off to my friend Alex, who's going to be cutting that for me. Hopefully we'll see that pretty soon. So, but let's get it into gluing the legs together. Okay, so we're here and ready to get started on trimming up the wrecked Chimera. It's going to be fitting under the foot of the Titan. As mentioned earlier, I've sent this, sent a photo of this off to my friend Alex, who's cutting this out for me. I should have that in a week or two. Once we get that in, I'll show you how I assemble that, and we'll get all the basing elements stuck down. But what I wanted to get started on first is, now that I know where the feet are going to go, I can actually start to build the feet and build the legs, and get rolling there. So let's get stuck into it. So the first thing I've got is the Chimera. I'm going to want to chop that up so that I can stick the Titan foot on top, get everything rolling. I probably need to lose everything from about this point here to the nose at the front here, this bit sticking out. So really what I'm going to do, to be completely honest, is just hack it apart. I'll start with my razor saw. Somebody pointed out before that it's fairly shallow. It is. One of the things that you'll learn during this series of videos is that I'm fairly lazy when it comes to my modeling. It might not seem like that, but I'm a big fan of using whatever I have to hand. This is one that I happen to have to hand. So I'm pretty comfortable that we'll be able to cut through this section here, which splits along the front of the body there, so that should pull apart fairly easily. And wherever we cut through to here, I'll just be able to take a knife and run that across to snap that front piece off. So it might be a little bit rough, but fortunately this will be the piece that's sunk down in the base, surrounded by putty, so we'll be all good. Okay, so I've cut through most of this plate here. There's some sections in here for the exhaust that I haven't been able to get to. So I'm going to grab my trusty pair of big clippers, moving my knife and my saw to the side so I don't cut my fingers again. So reach in here, hop under, roll it down. And snap through those. Hang under here. First one out. I'm going to take this one out too. And there we go. We have the all the road wheels out. So now I just have to keep cutting through here a little bit, and I'm going to get through to that exhaust section. dust this off and dust myself down. Now you can see there, we have that flat surface on each side. This is going to pull away nice and easily. So I'm just going to take my saw blade, cut it across here. Good. Take that, snap that back. Voila! A little bit rough around the bottom, as I said, but that's going to be sitting under the top level of the MDF base. Squash down, there'll be some putty up around the edges to represent being pushed into the mud. So, absolutely fine for our purposes. It didn't take too long either. So, the something I did earlier as well is I put in some hinges here. As you can see, there was a little bit busted up, but now this door can still hinge open. In the process of cutting, I've weakened this a little bit. So what I'll be doing is going in, cleaning some of this out. When I say weaken it, I've sort of pulled that off completely. So I'm going to stick that in, close it up. Probably put some little plasticard pieces under here to help bond the two sides together and give that additional structure. Same along the center here, so that when the whole thing has the weight of fully constructed Mars pattern Warlord Titan on it, it won't collapse each time I go to move it. So that's the first step. I'll go and stick those pieces of plasticard in now and come back and show you when that's done. Okay, so I mentioned I was going to put some plasticard bracing pieces in on the inside here. You saw how wobbly it was before. Now just some simple bracing on each side. It is all good. That'll sit there, and if you get down nice and tight you might be able to see it. But I think with the putty and a few other things that I'd like to do in there, everything's going to be just fine. Okay, I've decided to use this two-part epoxy glue based on a lot of the other videos that I've seen of folks putting together their Titans. Normally I'd use, again, being lazy, use whatever super glue I had to hand, but for this, particularly down in this section, anything below the waist really, is going to have a lot of weight on it, so I want to make sure that there's some solid glue holding those parts together. What I prefer to see later on is it snapping here rather than snapping at the glue point. So I'm just going to get into it, glue these pieces together, and I'll catch you on the other side. We started with a clear side and a blue side. Now that they're mixed together, they've got this milky white appearance. So, and we've got rid of all the blue, most of the clear, so we're ready to apply it. I'm just going to apply the glue with a bamboo skewer, the end of a bamboo skewer, and try to keep it off my hands. with a nice thick epoxy glue in there. Feels satisfying to sort of press at home. I also know that if any of it leaks out the bottom, or is pushed out the bottom, the toes will simply be being glued to this shitty cardboard, which will be easy to trim off, rather than accidentally gluing them to my nice cutting mat. Alright, as you can see here, I've kind of raced ahead a bit, and I now have the shins in place, the knees in place, the toes, everything's on the feet. This is now connected to the Chimera, nice and solidly. All the toes are fixed in place nice and really solidly there. That connection is great. Same on this leg here. I still have these pieces to attach, obviously, as we go around inside. And you see there's a pretty great range of motion for those. So you can put your Warlord Titan in some fairly interesting poses, no doubt. Hopefully this one will look pretty cool. One thing I did do is I raced ahead and glued the hip pieces, the hip balls, into place. They're nice and solid there as well. I did that so that I could put the thigh pieces on, and so to make sure that I had everything in the right spot. So that's kind of what I was expecting there. Those two hip pieces are at the same height now, and I thought, okay, that's going to be about the right distance. But if you notice that, I'm about 2 inches off. So I mean, I have to pull this way, push this way, and there we go. So I've given my friend Alex a call. Thankfully he hadn't started cutting the base yet, so I've asked him to sort of shuffle everything in by a couple of inches, and we should be good to go then. Fingers crossed. It'll affect how we lay out the sandbags, but I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. It gives us a bit more sort of strength around the edges, so I'm fine with that. But yeah, at the moment this is quite a bit of resin there to hang in, so that's the next step. Get these attached, get the thighs attached to the hips. Then I'm going to do some pinning, so I might do a small video on that in a couple of days. So thanks very much.